So Gary, how was that tournament that you just came
Dude,
from?
so we're setting up. I've been coaching, set up for a tournament. So I don't know if you have
Okay.
jiu-jitsu, but when you set up for a wrestling tournament, like you gotta take the mats out of the wrestling room, untape everything, coordinate a bunch of high school boys, and bring it into the gymnasium after basketball's done. Put them all out in the gym, about 4 to 5 mats. Get them all lined up correctly. Put them together, tape them, mop them, get chairs set up, table set up, all the gear ready. It's like the only sport I can think of, at least in like high school or anything, where you have to set up. You know,
That's silly, man. Well, I mean, in pro wrestling, you have to set up the wrestling ring, and you have to set it up and tear it down right after the show, and then put everything
yeah,
in the truck.
it's like you're a band or something, right?
Yeah, you feel like you're the pit crew, you're the light crew, you're everything, plus the show, and then you have to clean everything up.
So I just want to let people know, I'm having the second meal of the day right now. We are recording at 10 o'clock standard time. Having some tortilla soup with tortillas and green chili beer, and they pair really well together. Locavore,
You got green chili
yeah,
beer?
Locavore Brewing, bro. The Heisenberg, shout out.
Ooh, that sounds
It
so
pairs well
good.
with this. Does not pair well with everything, but definitely Mexican food.
Uh, what type of beer is the green chili beer? Is it like an ale or a
That's a
lager?
good question. I feel like it's a lager, but
Okay, it's like
yeah.
beer.
Well, you know
Mm,
beer.
I
Yeah,
see
you
it.
probably know beer better than me, but people at home. I have the cans too. I'll get the cans. We were recording. At least I'm recording from my kitchen, so I'll give a quick little grocery store venture. Free plugging.
It's a nice
It's a
kitchen.
pale ale.
Okay, that makes sense. I could tell by the color.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's
we should
nice.
get sponsored. I if we are not sponsored by a cannabis company or a beer company by now, or by next year, that's all I'm asking for.
I care more about a beer sponsor than a cannabis sponsor. I mean, I wouldn't mind both, but like, I already got my
Yeah.
plug, but like, I can never say no to like free beer.
That's all I mean. Just give me a case a week. Do
Oh
good.
yeah, for sure. And I saw they have the New Mexico flag on that beer.
Yeah, is this one yeah, it's New Mexico. It's the Heisenberg, which is obviously a reference to Star Wars, I think. So yeah, it says on the side here, serve it 40 degrees to 45 degrees. When the chili harvest comes in, the roasters sprout up around town, signaling fall in the southwest. It's a magical time, but it doesn't last. Enjoy it and the Heisenberg while you can do it.
That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
and you're a New Mexican, so
I'm Puerto Rican that lives in New
uh
Mexico.
Gio, you've lived in New Mexico how long?
It'll be like four
Dude, you're a
years
native.
in
You're a
the
native already.
yeah. Well, I'm a
Yeah. Why
resident for
don't you get
sure.
the
Yeah,
native
I guess
stickers
so.
like they have up here?
I should just get a Zia symbol like tatted on me already.
I think so.
Yeah, right. And then I should be like, yo, that's all
People
sick.
are like, you're Puerto Rican? I'm like, no, you're New Mexican.
I'm New Mexican, bro. I make enchiladas like a New Mexican.
See? You pick it up.
Yeah.
When I lived in Chicago, I stopped putting ketchup on hot dogs. I started saying,
You just put
yeah,
onions
I
instead,
started
right?
saying a beer instead of, hey, do you want to get a beer? I would say, let's get a beer.
All
Yeah.
beer. Let's go watch the Bears.
Let's watch the Bears and have a Polish hot
The
dog, huh?
Bears. Question, do you heat up your tortillas on a comal or do you just are you just raw dogging those tortillas right now?
With this, I raw dog them. Normally, I put some like oil on a pan and like kind of, give them a little crisp. That's
Yeah.
when I have time and patience.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you sent me a picture of your tortillas too. I was like, damn, he's raw dogging those
just heading
tortillas,
into it, dude.
bro. Bro, when you fold a tortilla and it breaks, it's not even cooked, and I was like, whoa, Gary's a
Just
savage,
getting
bro.
into it, dude. Just eating raw meat, raw tortilla. It's the ancestral tenets, is what it is. I'm trying to live that Liver King lifestyle, but it's just corn tortillas, uncooked.
Just that full natty lifestyle, bro, like the Liver
I just
King.
eat raw tortillas.
Not tortillas. The what was it? The eight tenets?
It was at 8 or 9.
Oh, the nine
Yeah.
tenets, I think. We had to do it for like a Mexican caveman, or you know what I mean?
I think it'd be funny to do it. You're like, all right, what's like other versions of the ancestral tenets?
Yeah. Eat raw
Raw
tortillas.
tortilla. Because his
Second.
case, really was just steroids, you know?
Yeah, for sure. At least he admitted it.
And it honestly like wouldn't have been a big deal if he didn't like be like, no, I eat like raw liver and shit like that. I think we need to
Yeah.
have just an honest athlete be like, dude, I am going to start doing so much steroids. I'm going to tell all of you exactly what I'm doing and show you, and you're going to
Yeah.
see how fucking jacked I'm going to get.
I feel like, Joe Rogan's very honest with his
Yeah.
TRT use, but we do need like a fitness guru on YouTube that's like, bro, I'm yoked to the gills and this is my fucking
Yeah.
cocktail. If you want to get as buff as me, then this is the cocktail and this is my workout regimen so I can get this
Yeah.
big.
Like just ape shit fuck jacked big. Like,
Yeah, because it takes a lot of like discipline to get that big
yeah.
anyway, even with
Yeah.
steroids. But like, and it's a lot has to do with genetics too. So it's like if you can't get as jacked as me and you're doing my workout and my fucking steroid regimen, then you're just a cuck. And then boom, roasted.
Just total like alpha male it. Like
Yeah.
if you can't get big with
Listen,
the
cucks.
addition of steroids, then you're a cook.
Listen, you not swole cucks. If you can't get as buff as me, then go watch your girlfriend have sex with someone else.
I'm curious with that. Like, what would be? I guess like what would be like the flip side too? If you're like, all right, I'm just gonna start. Like, what if you just started doing steroids and did jack shit, and then you still got jacked?
I don't even think that happens. I think you just get tits.
Is that it?
I think
Because I
so.
have no idea. So I'm just gonna consider you a doctor at this point. So
I have cauliflower, so that considers I'm like a doctor.
yeah, right. So like you should at least know that.
Yeah,
I
exactly. No, I think like
we're interrupting each other. Okay, this needs to improve.
oh, I'm
There
so
needs to be structure to this podcast.
never.
You know.
But I was saying is that I think if you use steroids and then if you don't use estrogen blockers and then you're not doing anything, you're just gonna get fat with like
Mm.
tits. I've never done steroids. I want
There's a part
to.
of me it's like I like my masculinity, but if like I could also like keep that masculinity and get some sweet double D's out of it,
Yeah, dude. Start that OnlyFans on the
bro, and
side.
it's just my chest.
Yeah, just hairy boobs, but like a hairy double
Yeah.
D's. Yeah,
Like
dude, milk
I
it,
think my handle
literally.
would be like Daddy's Milkers.
No, dude, Miller's Milkers.
It's right there under my nose.
Yeah, it's right there, bro.
I
Miller's
I
Milkers.
joke about starting an OnlyFans, but there's like times it's like, dude, I feel like maybe there's like niche audiences on there. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
like
dude.
not even sexual stuff, just like me doing like household shit and like not doing it fucking well. Like
It's called
there's
ASMR.
got to be a kink for that, though, right? Like I'm like, oh, I fucked up the drilling and the drywall. Damn it!
Yeah, it's called
Just
ASMR,
ASMR.
bro. It'd be like, yeah, you'd be like, fuck, and then just these noises of like the rulers.
People think I'm kidding, but I've been working on a lo-fi people screaming and arguing with each other. like radio for a while. Yeah.
Really?
Whenever I tell people, they're like, "That's are you kidding?" They laugh. I'm like, "No, I'm actually making lo-fi people screaming at each other."
Do
I
it,
just
dude.
I think it would be fun. You know.
Yeah. You'd be the next
You know what I
Joji.
mean? Like, dude, what a champ! What a champ!
Yeah, dude. Filthy fucking
Do you think he
brain.
has Pink Man in his closet?
He
You know.
better. I'd be disappointed if he
I think I
didn't.
saw something where it was like Joji looking at it, and it was like the Green Goblin, basically like telling him
Yeah.
like, "Put me on."
I saw
Yeah.
that shit. Oh god. But so the tournament's tomorrow then?
Yeah. So your boy has a high school wrestling tournament. I'm not gonna tell you which high school because some of you guys are creeps out there. You'll probably figure it out anyways. But I am helping coach the girls program tomorrow, and there's also a boys tournament. Now, we
Oh
want
yeah.
to talk about all right. How do you find sleep at a tournament? Because a lot of times you're getting up at like 5 a.m. and you're going right
Oh yeah.
now. Jiu-jitsu and wrestling probably pretty similar.
In a
Yeah,
way,
you
yeah.
know what I mean. Like bleachers, is you got bleachers to work with.
Yeah, we got bleachers. I also like to go to the car
Mm,
because, when it comes to jiu-jitsu matches, we already know the times of which, our teammates matches at. So we're like, cool. His first match is at 10 in the morning. His next one's at 2 p.m. I'm going to my car and I'm gonna go take a nap in my car.
nice. So I feel like on the flip side, like at least growing up, like wrestling, you're like, all right, you have your bout number, but that could be fucking anytime. You know, it could be so weird. Also, now there's these apps like Track Wrestling where you find like, all right, you're like, who's on the dashboard, who's on what. A lot of times they fly by, right? So I also have to have like an accountability buddy. You're like, hey, I'm gonna fall asleep. Wake me up at least like 5 minutes before my match. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
because I feel like
for
if
sure.
you're waking up and warming up before a match, you're not doing it right. You're not
Yeah.
doing it right.
No, not at all.
Just get up and do it.
You know what? There's a perfect example, and it's my boy named Jesse, the Tornado
Mm-hmm.
Tafoya. This guy is a savage, bro. I think in his last two wins is just a combination of like 30 seconds of just spinning back fist knockouts.
Nice.
But like, I would help him, corner him for his grappling matches, and I'm like, hey, bro, you want to warm up? He's like, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna go take a nap over there in the corner. I was like, cool. Just let me know if you need anything. Will do. Puts his hood on, zips it, falls asleep. I'm like, yo, Jesse, you're about to compete in 20 minutes. He's like, oh, shit, bet. And then, like, he kind of like just stretches a little bit. And he's like, all right, I'm ready to go in. This guy does like Imanari rolls, takedowns, leg locks, and the guy always mauls his opponents. Goes back to the locker room, sleeps, wakes up, does the same. And I'm like,
He's a
yeah,
lion.
just gotta do it the anime
He's a
way.
lion. That's what he is. Just
Yeah, dude.
chills, saves his energy.
Yeah. He's exactly what like you know, these Japanese authors write
Good.
about. Book of Five Rings is about Jesse.
I've never read that book.
Me neither. I only read The Art of War.
Book. It's like the book of five golden rings.
Two turtle doves.
Do you know that the 12 we'll get back to that. Anyways, I think the best like okay, there's like I have a like if I was to go like top, like bleachers is perfect because you're like right there in the action. You got to bring your pillow. Like it might be one from home or you stole it from the hotel that you're staying at for that tournament.
for sure.
Typically, I mean, like people are like I don't think blankets is like too preschool. You know what I mean? I feel like use a coat or your warm up, or just like stack a bunch of backpacks and shit on you, and just build a nest. And just sit,
Okay,
like right
okay.
in the nook of the bleachers. It's fucking choice. That's
Bro, I would wear a onesie while I'm
mm,
grappling if I'm in a wrestling
yeah.
tournament.
Because usually you got sweats and your warm up, and it's like you're cozy. You know, like
Yeah, but like if you're warming up to like a rabbit
yeah,
onesie, like everyone's like gonna get a fucking like they're gonna be afraid
that
of
is
you.
fair. But you know, I also feel like typically like heavyweights have like first round buys a lot of the times. They get the
Yeah,
best naps, dude.
I
Especially if
bet,
you're like
dude.
top seed. You know, you're like,
I
well, I'm
bet.
not wrestling till like noon. You weigh in at 7, right? Warm up. You know, you get an hour to, and you warm up at 8. Wrestling starts at 9. You're like, all right, I'm gonna sleep at 8:30,
That is
right?
gangster. That is really
Another guy's
gangster.
like, all right, high school in Colorado at least, it's a 45-minute rule between matches. So if you're like, all
Yeah,
right, just wrestle. I'm gonna go take a 20-minute nap,
it must be
right? You
nice.
can just sneak that in.
Oh yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. I think that's beautiful.
fucking awesome. I think if you can find a spot like in the high school or whatever you're wrestling at, or like wherever the jujitsu is, if you can get sneak into like a classroom, even better.
You know, it's funny. Uh, at the first tournament that I competed in New Mexico, there wasn't a warm-up
Mm,
area. So like, you know, like in the basketball courts, they're like on the walls where like the
mm-hmm.
hoops are at. There's like pads on the walls, I guess. Like someone runs and they hit against the wall, there's
Yeah.
padding. So we like ripped that off of the wall just so I can warm up on the like so to have mats to warm
Mm.
up on.
Yeah, and I think the difference, and I like those mats too. Talking about like
Yeah.
jujitsu too, right? Being able to go out in your car. Like I think
Oh yeah.
wrestling shoes limits because you're like, fuck, I can't go out.
Oh, I didn't
You
think
know
of
what I mean?
that.
But like, dude, like yeah,
Yeah.
jujitsu, like let's throw on the cholos or the chopos. You know what I mean? Let's go to the
Yeah.
car.
We're the flip
Let's
flops.
fucking
And that's
let's
it.
just nap. This car, like, you could live out of your car.
Yeah. I mean a lot of jujitsu guys do.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
What?
And usually they're like, I'm gonna take a nap in the car. They're actually just smoking a lot of weed.
You know what? It took me a long time to realize. You know how people are like, dude, if you work hard, you'll get rich or whatever. I
It's
was like,
bullshit.
dude, most of the people I know are rich are kind of fucking lazy. They're just really smart at being lazy. Like, you know what? I don't want to do this shit. I'm gonna invent something that makes it easy.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
hardworking people are like, fuck that. I need to learn and earn from this. And we continue to do it the hard way. And I feel like that's like a lot of wrestlers and jujitsu people,
Oh yeah.
just to be psychological about it.
Bro, yeah. You know what's funny is like ever since I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna focus on just making money and have a
Mm-hmm.
401k. And it's been like the best life decision I've ever made. And it's really I do nothing. Today I watched two soccer games and like the World Cup, and then I fell asleep an hour left into my shift. I woke up, I left at 4 p.m., and it's the most money I've ever made in my
And for
life.
the sake of his bosses watching, that is entirely a joke.
Yes.
That's that.
But it's like I taught my students and we're good to go.
I I think it was cool. I will say this: like meeting the Hickman brothers in Thailand,
Yeah.
kind of was like, wow, you guys. And he even said he was like, wrestling took me out here. Who would have thought? Which is cool with like martial arts, man. It will take you to a lot of places. Like I think it took you to where you're at now.
Oh, for sure.
And I think to it's taken me to stuff where I think there is a a point to be like lazy work. I think lazy work is value. You learn to work smart. You're like, yeah, like you're saying, why would I go break my back for 8 hours if I have this option? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And yeah,
yeah,
you know what I mean. You literally just said that.
yeah. It's like I feel like it's more of a self-esteem thing, you know?
And I gotta ask, who'd you watch play soccer?
I was watching the first game was Croatia versus Brazil, and Croatia had the upset win.
I saw, but I didn't see it. What happened?
Um, I think they won by what was it? I think it was through a penalty kicks or last minute goal. It was like a last second
Hmm.
goal. And then with the Argentina versus the Netherlands, that game was
Who
intense,
won that?
bro. That game was
Who won
what's
that
up?
one?
Oh,
Argentina
Argentina.
did. Ooh.
Barely, bro. It was like Argentina was winning 2-1, and then it was like the last 5 seconds of the game, the Netherlands tied it
Hmm.
up. So then they went to 120 minutes, and then they went to penalty kicks, bro. And the Netherlands had 3 penalty kicks scored, and then Argentina had 4. It was that close. It was
That
intense,
sounds like a lot of soccer.
bro. I've been loving the World Cup. Like I'm trying. Like I want to see for like the
Hmm.
final it will be Portugal versus
I
Argentina.
think that's like every marketing person's like dream come true.
Oh yeah, dude. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel
Yeah.
Messi.
I think that'd be like back in the day if like England with David Beckham made it against like Brazil or something. You know?
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
perfect.
And I haven't got to watch any of the fucking games. No.
Really. Uh, do you like the World Cup?
Dude, I like sports. I mean, I rag on, soccer as much as any American guy does. Just because you're
Yeah,
kind of raised with that, and a lot of times it's just ignorance. But I
yeah,
enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun to watch. And even to a certain extent, it's like I rip on the NFL too. The NFL is so stupid.
yeah. Are you just saying that because the Broncos are just having a terrible year?
That, but also, I mean, dude, it's just kind of. I think the level and quality of play sometimes has kind of dropped in the last 10 years.
I
And
can
I think
imagine.
everybody has that opinion about like, oh, my day, back in my day, and stuff. Like the rules have changed, and to a certain degree, it's made it hard to play fucking defense. But that's just me being, an opinionated boomer. But
You know, it's funny because who do you like? Which team do you think has the best defense in the
the
NFL?
Broncos,
You think that?
100%,
Okay,
100%.
cool.
I think, and this is how bad the offense is. There was a stat. I don't know if I told you this before in the last podcast or not. But if the Broncos had just scored 18 points, just 18 points, they would have been like 10-1. Our defense is lights out. Like when we're losing games 9-10,
That's true. That is true. That
what
is
the
true.
fuck?
Yeah, that is also
Yeah.
really true.
And I mean, every other market, I'm sure people are like, no, the Dolphins is best, the 49ers. And I think they all got great teams, obviously. But it's like our offense is that bad to where we have a
Yeah,
amazing defense that is getting wasted.
I thought it was the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills are good as shit too. But I mean,
Yeah,
they have when you have a good quarterback or like a good offense, you can also keep your defense off the field too.
that's true.
And also that who's to say with the Bills that if they get in a shootout, with the Kansas City Chiefs, can they stop them? Yeah, I don't know. I'm postulating.
That's true.
I am off the subject of this podcast, which was about sleeping at tournaments. Okay, I am off
Well,
rocker.
that's because you need to
I am
sleep.
off my rocker.
I think he's just you need to go to
I
sleep,
think you're
bro.
right.
Yeah,
Is that the end? Is that the end? Is that how we're doing this?
that's how
Okay.
we're doing this,
You
I
know what?
guess.
You know what? Audience members, uh, you guys need to donate us beer, um, or tell the beer companies to do it. We are
Oh
we
yeah.
are working hard for you guys. We're trying.
I
What's
literally
that?
paused. I literally paused watching Life Aquatic.
Ooh,
I'm
with Steve
halfway in
Zissou.
for this
Dude, that is
podcast. Yes.
dedication. And you people, so ungrateful. So
Terrible. We're not gonna even sign off with like a thank you for
we're
listening.
gonna criticize all of you people out there
Yes.
sending. I don't even know where you'd send it, but just send beer.
Yeah. And you know what? Fuck Darkhaven Studio too. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and stuff. Are they in art? Do they make art? What do they do?
I don't know. They just rip off of jujitsu guys.
No. Like we'll have to have a deep convo about that. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. All right, signing off, guys. Be sure to follow us at Gary Miller BWC and Main Event Poppy. Bye.